The Fox News decision desk can now officially project that Donald Trump will become the 47th president of the United States.
Oh man, what a day. What's up, y'all? My name is Igor in Russia, and in this video, why the seat is so noisy. In this video, we're gonna be checking out how Russian media has reacted to Trump's victory in the US presidential election. What's up, everybody? Igor, Russia, and I haven't slept this night because I've been following the American, politics, but especially Trump's presidential race all the way from 2015, coming and all the way to this 4-year presidential race. So of course I was following. Not sleeping because I'm here in Europe, so I was actually just really waiting to see and make sure to see with my own eyes that Trump is gonna win, and that's what happened, guys. He was on the road for 4 years on this race, and that's pretty amazing. And all the odds that were set against him, and he overcame them. I think justice happened. But is it a good news for Russia or not? Well, that's debatable. Before we go into the Russian media and how they have reacted, in the short, in a little bit commentaries about how people think that Russians think about Trump versus Harris. So more likely Russians usually like Trump more. It's maybe not only because of the politics and not because how he's been portrayed in the Russian media throughout the years, but it's also, he's, you can use that, he's more Russian in a way. I mean that, the way he acts himself, he's very more like just like Russia, power, straightforward, and that type of thing. And but it's very debatable that has Trump been good for Russia, and there are evidence and events that happened and the sanctions before 2022 by Trump were actually, harmful for Russia and US elections. But on the other hand, why Russians may think positively now is because he has stated that he won't be supporting Ukraine and that he will end the war and actually all wars. So that's very hopeful message because, well, some might say that, under Harris, that would be the continuation of Biden's policy, which is little by little helping, taking it further and further and America further into the conflict. And there's a bigger and bigger risk of that we all gonna die in the World War III. So, and nobody wants that. And yeah, so let's guys go on how Russia has been portraying his victory. These are just the latest news. He won like a few hours ago, not officially yet though, but it's basically, it's all done. And first news here, let's go to Lenta. Lenta says Russia names Trump's useful quality. And these are not in order because there's something about congratulating. I'm gonna go into that, but let's just go through these that I've pinpointed for this video. Russia names Trump's useful quality. Deputy Chairman of the Security Council, Dmitry Medvedev, drew attention to the fact that the newly elected American president does not like to spend money. These expenses also include those related to support for Ukraine, just like I said, guys. At the same time, Medvedev noted that despite Trump's stubbornness, the system is stronger. In turn, the first deputy chairman of the State Duma Committee on International Affairs, Alexei Chepa, predicted the end of Ukrainian conflict in the spring under Trump. He explained that the Senate and Congress are now becoming Republican. Congressmen will look for an opportunity to catch Democrats in corruption, which will largely be connected with the Ukrainian issue. So this is one of the things that I told you about, that not spending money on things that shouldn't, maybe, according to some, concern them. Let's go to another Lenta news right now. Here we go. And so that's relating to the end of wars. Trump has declared his intention to end war, says Lenta. And these are translations from the Russian version of the site, by the way. This is like Google translations, because otherwise these news are in Russian. So, I'm not going to start wars, I'm going to stop them, Trump said. Speaking at his Mar-a-Lago estate, the politician noted that the United States has a strong and powerful army, but ideally they do not need to use it. Trump has repeatedly stated that if he wins, he will be able to end the conflict in Ukraine before he officially takes office in January 20th, 2025. That's interesting. So he even claims that he's going to stop it beforehand, and basically how that would happen is probably he's going to just let Zelensky know that's what's going to happen. Basically cutting off any support. Support amount is so big that nobody can, come to the same level. So I think this is the one of them. And of course there might be some declaration to Russia as well from his point of view. And then we're gonna go forward. We're gonna go to TASS, which is government's one of the news agencies. And I have been, by the way, at the headquarters in Moscow in front of TASS, by the way, legendary place. Peskov said, which is a spokesperson for Putin, Peskov said that the US can help end the conflict in Ukraine. Whether Washington will do this will become clear later, the press secretary of the Russian head of state noted. So, United States, which is involved in Ukrainian conflict, may contribute to its end, but whether it will do so will become clear after January 25th, 2025. When the country's new president takes office. This was stated to journalists by the press secretary of the head of the Russian state, Dmitry Peskov. We have repeatedly said that the United States is capable of helping to end this conflict. And that's, well, guys, that's because the main financial and military supporter is US. But since the United States is the state that is inciting and constantly throwing kerosene into this conflict, and it's directly involved in it, then yes, the United States is capable of changing this trajectory of its foreign policy, the Russian leader's press secretary emphasized. But whether this will be done and how it will be done. So, little like hesitant, and this is, by the way, in accordance with all the like previous ones as well. The Western media has said that Russia would be so happy for Trump's win, but Russian spokespeople have said that they've been more mild, let's put it like this. Going on with more TASS news, I got a few of them. A Russian diplomat praises Trump recognition that U.S. must address domestic issues first. Yes, according to Maria Zakharova, Donald Trump's position is radically different from the ideology imposed by ultra-liberal circles. Republican candidate Donald Trump acknowledged that the United States needs to address domestic issues as he declared victory in the presidential election. Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova told Russia 24 television. And guys, I said spokesperson of Putin. I think, yeah, that was Peskov, yes. And this is Foreign Ministry's spokeswoman. Trump, that is, has been saying that America is actually sick and that American society needs to solve the domestic issues. And if you follow the American news, and you know that is largely true. According to the American media alone. According to Zakharova, Trump's position is radically different from the ideology imposed by ultra-liberal circles. The Russian diplomat hailed as a substantial step forward Trump's remarks, recognizing that America should address its own issues before solving problems elsewhere. And that's a America First ideology that Trump had already during the first presidency. Voting in the U.S. presidential election ended on Wednesday morning, Moscow time. While official results have yet to be announced, well, this is way before, but, well, yeah, it is. Officially, it's still undeclared, but it's like, it's quite clear. Trump himself has already declared himself the 47th President of the United States. U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson has congratulated President-elect Trump, as have foreign leaders. All right, guys, moving on forward. How Russia speaks about the Trump election. Kremlin to assess Trump presidency based on his first steps. And this is what I said about, guys. So you don't have actually, if you're clear enough, if you know the background, there is no 100% knowledge how Trump actually will, react or, collaborate with Russia. And of course, I think the best thing for the world is that Russia and the US would get along. It will cool the world way much, a lot. All right, back to the news. Kremlin will evaluate Donald Trump as the US president based on his initial statements on topics related to Russia and his first concrete actions, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters. We will primarily make conclusions based on Trump's statements on issues that are on our agenda, and when we receive them, on his first concrete steps, he said. Peskov also emphasized that incumbent U.S. President Joe Biden will continue performing his duties until the end of this year, based on the rumors. Voting in the U.S. elections concluded on the morning of November 6, Moscow time. The official results have not yet been finalized. All right, and this is the other thing about the forecast. The news is by TASS is that Putin doesn't plan to congratulate Trump on victory. Wow, you think you know it all, but you don't. We're talking about an unfriendly country that is both directly and indirectly involved in the war against Russia, recalled the president's press secretary Dmitry Peskov. And this is really like in line with everything that Russia has been saying during this conflict, for example. It's like really rational in a way. Russian leader Vladimir Putin does not plan to congratulate Republican Donald Trump on his victory in the U.S. presidential election. This was stated by the Russian leader's press secretary Dmitry Peskov. This is very opposite of what Ukraine Zelensky did. He hurried to congratulate him, even though he's been talking trash about Putin, relatively trash about, not Putin, about Trump, leading up to this election. I'm not aware of the president's plans to congratulate Trump on his election, the Kremlin spokesman said. Let's not forget that we are talking about an unfriendly country. Yep, and this is the same statement again. And now going back to this RBK news, the Kremlin assessed the consequences of refusing to congratulate Trump on his victory. Russia-US relations cannot get any worse, Peskov said. He does not know whether Putin plans to congratulate Trump on his election victory. Well, we know now. If Russian President Putin does not congratulate Donald Trump on his victory in the US presidential election, relations between the countries are likely to get any worse than they are now, the Russian leader press secretary Dmitry Peskov told reporters. It is practically impossible to make things worse. Relations are historically at their lowest point, he said. And there's another part to this. It is he called the presidential election an internal matter for the United States and reminded that we still have to wait for Trump to take office. As for congratulations, I'm not aware of the president's plans to congratulate Trump on the election. Still, let's not forget that we are talking about an unfriendly country. Peskov recalled that Putin had repeatedly expressed his readiness for constructive dialogue. According to the president's press secretary, the mood in the U.S. administration is now the exact opposite. We'll see what happens in January, Peskov said. The optimistic attitude of some Russian politicians towards Trump was explained by the head of state's press secretary by Republicans' pre-election statements which promised to end conflicts. Yes, this statement is quite important, but now after the victory, actually preparing to enter the Oval Office or entering the Oval Office, sometimes statements take on different tone. Yep, that is true. And that is why We say that we are carefully analyzing everything, monitoring everything, and we'll draw conclusions based on the specific words and specific steps, Peskov said. The vote count in the US elections is still ongoing, but Donald Trump has already declared himself the winner. All right, guys, so what do you think? Is Donald Trump gonna help end the conflict between Russia and Ukraine and other conflicts in the world? Another thing, what will be the next moves before taking office? He promised to, end the conflict in 24 hours. What do you think is going to happen? I hope for peace and the better times and better relations between Russia and US. Guys, I'm Igor in Russia. I'm a foreigner traveling to Russia, filming Russia, explaining, a life in Russia, giving guide videos and other stuff. So subscribe to my channel and also my other channel, West East Quest. And if you enjoy walk videos, I have also City Life Walks channel. You can find them all on YouTube. And guys, see you in the other video. And have a nice day. Bye-bye.